Now, in maybe 10 minutes or so, Sandy's going to be coming out here and teaching you a visualization exercise that works like magic when you use it. It takes practice. It's not something you just do once and you got it. You've really got to get into it, and you come back to the word belief again. Now, I want you to think of how anything grows. See that acorn. That acorn has in it a pattern plan, a nucleus. This pattern plan controls the vibratory rate of the little mass of energy that we call an acorn. It's a little nut. It's a little mass of energy. And it vibrates on a frequency, and it has no ability to alter that frequency. Therefore, there's particles of energy in the earth that are in harmonious vibration with the acorn. And there's all kinds of energy in the earth that's not in harmony with it. There'd be particles of energy jammed right up against the acorn that are not in harmony with the acorn, so it won't mix with the acorn. However, there are particles of energy that are there, some distance from the acorn, and if you could see with the naked eye what's happening, those particles of energy would be marching just like obedient soldiers right to that acorn. And they will move directly to the acorn, and it could come from quite a long distance. But they will move, and they'll move directly to the acorn. When it reaches the acorn, it does the only thing it can do. It becomes one with the acorn. Now think of this for a moment. Let's suppose I took a glass top table here, and I put 2 drops of water on it. And I start to push those drops of water together until they touch. I don't have 2 drops of water anymore, do I? What do I have? 1 drop of water. Have you ever heard the thing, what God hath joined together? Gives it new meaning, doesn't it? You try and separate those into the same 2 little mass of molecules that you originally started with the 2 drops. You're never going to do it. You can separate that 1 drop back into 2 drops, but it will not be the same 2 drops. Those drops of water come together, they're in resonance, they're in harmony, so they become one with each other. When that particle of energy comes one with the acorn does the only thing it can do, it expands. We call that growth. Yet it can only grow into one thing, an oak tree. It cannot grow into a maple tree or a carrot, yet can just grow into an oak tree. Now there's, as I say, there's energy jammed right up against the acorn, but it's not in the same frequency. So that'd be like me trying to phone you and I'm dialing somebody else's number. I'm never going to get you. You got to get on the frequency of the good you desire. Everything's already here. The good you want, the money you want, the help you want, everything's already here. But if you're not in harmony with it, you won't even see it. It could be staring you right in the face, you wouldn't see it. I want you to think. This is really powerful information. So watch what happens to that acorn when it becomes one with the acorn. It does the only thing it can do. It causes the acorn to expand. And shoots come out of the bottom, and then shoots come out of the top. Now it's attracting from the atmosphere as well as from the earth. See, there's energy in the atmosphere. There's energy in the atmosphere that is required to make leaves and trees and stumps. And it's all here. But it'll only be attracted to what's in harmony with. Now think. Here's the energy. I just use this one as an example. There's a stream of them, just like little soldiers, marching right towards the acorn. They become one with the acorn expands. Shoots come out the bottom, pretty soon shoots come out of the top, and we attract from where? From the universe. It's all here. Now think. A pattern plan is in the seed. It controls the vibratory rate of the seed. Okay? The energy that created the oak tree was always here. It's in harmony with and was attracted to the seed. Keep thinking. The acorn's in the earth. The oak tree's in the universe. And the law of attraction brought them together. What's the difference between you and the acorn? Very little. The difference is you have the ability to alter your vibration. The acorn doesn't. You can grow into anything you choose. The acorn cannot. Do you know what our problem is? Our blessing is also our curse. It's like Moses said, I give you both a blessing and a curse. Well, you get them both at the same time. We do grow into what we think about. Our problem is we're thinking about this today and that tomorrow and something else the next day. Whatever shiny object grabs our attention, that's what we're going to grow into today. We hear something nice, oh, I'm going to do that, and then we hear something else, we're going to do that. There's no focus. There's no direction. He said you've got to gather the information and give it intelligently directed. The accumulation of great fortunes. And don't put down great fortunes. You can do a lot of good with money. You cannot do without it. The accumulation of great fortune calls for power. Power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. You got to intelligently direct it. Otherwise, it's just going to be scattered all over the place. It'd be like trying to read the sign with a candle lit. You won't even know the sign's there. Take and put it in a flashlight. Give it direction. Give it power. Now, you have infinite potential. No one knows what you're capable of doing. There are 8 basic principles for living the life that you really want to live. We'll run through some. 1, you're going to want something. First one is you've got the power. 2, you've got to want. Understand where wants come from. People say, why do you want that? Well, if you knew why you wanted it, you probably wouldn't want it. You want it because that is the soul seeking its awareness, seeking its expression, seeking its awareness of its oneness with God, oneness with that which is. Your soul, you are a soul. You don't have one, and the soul's forever seeking expansion and expression. Spirit's always for expansion and expression, always, always, never for disintegration. When you're going the wrong way, you've taken over and you're messing it up. The want comes into our consciousness to cause us to stretch. If you don't want something, you're going to stay where you are. When you do want it, that's when you're going to go and get it. So you see, you've got to want it. You've got to want. Where do our wants come from? They come from the essence of who we are. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. There's perfection within every one of us. Our responsibility here is to express as much of that perfection as we can in the length of time we have here. Now, the third one is a decision. Most people don't understand decision at all. I was showing you the other day. They keep gathering information. Well, when I get enough information, I'll make a decision. I'll give you the information. Do you want it? That's the only information you need. If I want it, I will do it. I've seen people do things that were just absolutely crazy at the time they think of it, but then it's happened. Now think. Who are you listening to? Are you listening to people that don't understand, that are full of fear, that are trying to get, or are you listening to somebody that does understand? By their fruits you'll know them. Check their results. If they're not getting the results, don't spend a lot of time listening to them. They may be nice people and they may want to help, but they don't know how. They don't even know they don't know in most cases. Fourth one is commitment. You got to be committed. It's got to be a committed decision. If you're interested, well, you do it if it's convenient. When you're committed, you're going to do it regardless. I remember one time, we were in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It was the worst snowstorm I've ever seen. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is in a valley, a pretty deep valley. I had to be at Baltimore the next morning. We finished the day there, 4 or 5 o'clock. I didn't get to Baltimore until just before the seminar started at 9 o'clock in the morning. We were given a cab driver or a limo driver $100 tips just to keep going. I wouldn't have driven the car. The snow was coming down so heavy. He got us into Philly, and I think we took a train from there. But anyway, we had to be there. We made a commitment, and we had to be there. When you make a commitment, you will do it regardless. That's what separates the professionals from the amateurs. Professionals know how to make a commitment. They'll stake their life on it. You got to be accountable. If you're not accountable, probably you're not going to do much. I have found when you commit and you set up a situation where you're going to be accountable, It is like insurance policy for success. If you're really going to do something that's a pretty big deal, I'd recommend you write it out. Say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do every day. This is how I'm going to get there. I've written this out and I've signed it. And you give it to somebody that you respect, somebody that you've got a lot of respect for. And say, I'd like you to keep this. I'd like you to sign it. And if you see me deviate from this, just hold this up. I want you to hold me accountable. And you know, you've just increased your possibility of success dramatically. You don't just give it to anybody. You don't even have to know them that well, but if you've got a lot of respect for them, you don't want them thinking of you as a failure. Number 6 is focus. You got to develop your will. You've got to stay focused. If you don't stay focused, it ain't going to happen. It just won't happen. Focus is the development of the will. It directs, increases your personal power enormously. A lot of people who don't know me think I'm a fairly complicated person. I'm actually a fairly simple person. There's not too much to understand. This is all I do. I write, I teach, write, teach, read, write, teach. I want to know how to do this better. Come October, I want this seminar to be better than this seminar. Now, if I'm going to make it better than this seminar, I got to be better than this seminar. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I keep practicing. Why do you think these professionals practice so much? They never compete. Amateurs compete. You know, we're talking about, somebody said, well, what about Michael Jordan? He was competitive. He wasn't competitive at all. He's just a phenomenal example of a pro. He was competing with himself. Amateurs compete with other people. Pros compete with himself. He wanted to do it better this time than he did last time. He just distanced himself from everybody. That's what great golfers do. That's what great musicians do. They don't compete with other people. What if I compete with you and I beat you? What if I proved? Then I got to beat somebody else. I got to be better than I am. I got to do a better job today. I want to earn more. I want to do more. I want to give more. I want to be more. But you got to be it first. That's where Goethe, the German philosopher, who's really shaped a lot of the thinking of the Western world, he said, before you can do something, you first must be something. You've got to be it inside. Ed, if you're not inside, you haven't got it. I don't care what kind of a story you tell. It's like what you are speaks so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. Number 7 is discipline. Now, I never used to be disciplined. Today, I am very disciplined. I really am a disciplined individual. When I wake up, I get up. What the hell do I want to lay in bed for? You know, I'm not going to do anything. You got to get up. And I have found if you get up early, you can get a lot more done, so you can enjoy more of the day. So 5:30, I'm usually in the studio. It's the best part of the day. Nobody bothers you. Everybody else is unconscious. Now think. When you wake up, you get up. Be disciplined. It's the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. This I will do. Now, you're talking to yourself all the time. You're here, and you're saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Everybody's going to do this. Make certain you do. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Not to please somebody else, but to respect yourself. This is good stuff. You can't lose with this. And number 8 is visioneering. Now, I have watched this lady work now for over 10 years. She's probably done more for this company than any one person has ever done. I've watched some of the things she's accomplished in the company and outside of the company. And she's an absolute master at this. Now, do you see, the crazy part about this, she didn't know any of this stuff until she came to that seminar in Vancouver, Washington. And all of a sudden she realized, damn, I've been doing this all my life. She went to best schools. She was always top of the class. She was doing all this, but she didn't realize that this is what she was doing. She was what you call an unconscious competent, and that's where most people are that are winning. See, the real winners, the hard chargers, the ones that are really making it happen, they're doing everything we're talking about. They just couldn't articulate what they're doing. They don't know. They'll put it down to one thing or another. Well, I have a vision board or something, you know. And where all these things are part of it. Sandy was doing it all. And she came in, and she said, you could really do something with this company, or I could if I was running it. I said, you go ahead and run it. She said, you got to do exactly what I tell you. I thought, okay, I will. And some of the things she did, I really didn't like. I wouldn't have done them. But I gave her a commitment that I would do it. I had everybody in the company upset with me. What the hell are you listening to her for? Who's she? What's she know? Well, I said, I don't know, but you just keep watching because I think she knows. She did know. And she started to move the players around. You go here, you go here. You take this, you take that. And she structured something very, very, very beautiful. But this is the key. I tested her that one time with the house. I said, do you believe it? I said, send an invitation to all your family to come to dinner for Christmas. She didn't even have a contract on the place. But they had Christmas dinner there. She made it happen. So as she goes through this, I want you to pay particular attention because she's going to give direction. You've got it in your book. And you know what you're going to see? You're going to see your life come together just the same as the oak tree grows from the acorn. You've got to understand the acorn is the nucleus, the pattern plan. It cannot change it. The pattern plan or the nucleus in you is the image that you're holding. And when you hold an image, it must move into form with and through you. You are just permitting it to express itself through you. You're an excellent instrument for Spirit to work through. You're here to do God's work. God being a creator, you were given creative faculties. Well, create. Quit doing the same thing over and over and playing it safe. You don't want to get to the end of the road and be proud because you played it safe. You want to look back and say, wow, what a trip.